Hi guys, my name is Noor from Nairobi, Kenya. A student at St. Paul's University. Welcome to Book Lover Show. Um, I'm an author of two books. One is called I Will Be Back, and the other is called Nobody Knows My Pain. Both published when I was in high school. Which I finished 2018. Great news. This book is called I Will Be Back. It's a fairy tale for kids. It's actually a class reader for class grade 1 to 6. It's about Emilio and his brother Josh and King. So, published by KLB. This book, when I wrote it, I was in class 7 doing my exams for the one that they grade you the index number. So when I got the exam for my composition, it had a starting, and it kind of gave me an idea of to write a book. I took the starting, and when I finished my composition, which was 40 minutes, I just snapped out of it. I finished before time, so I wrote it. I started writing the book, and I finished in 3 days because it's small. So when I wrote it, the title "I Will Be Back" comes from the last few words of my dad. So I used it because I wanted to be remembered in a way. Yeah, that's the story behind the book, and it's this book, being it a fairy tale, it's talking about the disadvantages of being vengeful, sibling rivalry in families. Yes. It's 150 bob when you go to KLB sales office. It's very cheap, very good. If you can't find it anywhere, one can communicate to me and I'll bring them. If in another way, you can join the book fair. That is where you get so many books, and these books can be good for that. Nobody Knows My Pain is my second book, which was published in 2018. It was in Form 4. The book is talking about Somali girl child education, the struggles we go through sometimes to get our education, and the responsibilities that comes with a single father, being a single father. So the book is 68 pages long. It's actually a very nice reader for class 8 and above, especially secondary school students, and even adults can read it. It kind of relates to some situations they are in, and the book can connect with you emotionally. Yeah, it's a great read. So the title "Nobody Knows My Pain" comes from when I was in pain for a very long time. I was sick. Nobody even knew about it. The disease I had just had I had it for a very long time. When I go to the hospitals, the doctors are telling me, "Oh, you have infections, oh this, oh that." And each time I ended up in a hospital, it felt weird. And the doctors are not telling me exactly what my problem was. So until late 2016, where a doctor in where I used to school, my high school, just recommended I go for an endoscopy test. Then she said, when I went for the endoscopy test, that was when the problem was noted, that I had a hernia, and I had to go through surgery, which I went in 2016 also. 2018. Yeah. That title, really nobody understood my pain. People thought I was just faking it, that I don't have any pain at all, or maybe even I'm not sick. People used to take me for that until the day they saw I went for a surgery. That's the time they believed in me. No, that's why the title "Nobody Knows My Pain." And it's true, even when somebody pinches you, really you only feel the pain yourself. Nobody else feels along with you. That's where the issue comes in. Yes. Why I write? I write because I want I want to share with people my story and let them know that there's somebody out there who understands what they're going through. All my stories, all my storybooks relate to people emotionally. They connect to you and the real thing that is in our society that most people are kind of afraid of talking about. Especially in my community where I come from, so many things are going down in the name of culture and traditions. And some okay, we are in the 21st century, so people are a bit diverting from the cultures and traditions. And I don't know, but we are in the trial and error period. We are trying to focus ourselves in changing, and that change is making people go through something, yeah, something big time. And yeah, I like people to read my story because I want them to feel where I stand and my opinion. Yeah, that's the major reason why I write, to express myself. Actually, when I was in primary and in high school, I never used to have close friends. Even today, I don't have that much close friends. I just know a lot of people, by the way. Um, and writing made me feel that I could express myself, talk, and share my problems with the book. And sometimes I will, if I write my secrets on a book, I can't leave it there, you know. Sometimes it's a bit dangerous. So I burn it. When I burn it, I feel a bit relieved of the issue that I had. Yeah. And since in my generation, it's very hard to trust people with your problem. Actually, they can use it to even blackmail you with it. Damn. It's okay, like it. And why I read, reading to me is a little bit more of a habit. I like it because I have made it a culture to read. I can finish a book maybe in a day or less because I'm a fast reader. And reading makes me feel comfortable and relate to the author's emotions and thoughts in that particular state where they were writing. Yes, reading is just good and it just expands your knowledge. And when you want to know more about the language and how to use some words, just read a book, especially storybooks, because that's how you can really learn fast. Yeah. This thing called reading, especially reading books that are stories and from people's life and all that, it kind of gives me an escape from reality. That's why I read a lot of books, especially when I am under stress, under pressure. I read books to escape reality and feel free for a bit. My current read is Suicide Notes by Michael Thomas Ford. This book talks about a 15-year-old teenager named Jeff. He committed suicide and now is in a facility to be helped on to admit the fact that he committed suicide and he's in depression, but he keeps on denying it until to a point where he gets to know the people in the circle where they talk about their issues and stress. I took this book because we have a problem in our society that depression. So I am a bit learning about, I think, some things, one, two things about psychology because I'm really interested in that area and help people in guidance and counseling. Yeah, I like to do so many things at once. It's kind of my nature. So this book really talks about how we are in a denial state, that we don't want to admit that we have problems that are leading us into depression. And really, when you go into depression, you get sick. Getting sick doesn't mean you only have to be committing suicide or you start losing weight or you gain weight. No, it means that sometimes you don't talk to people, sometimes you just drift away from others, sometimes you just you don't want to talk to anyone. even you laugh, laughing, even sometimes it can be a form of depression. You just laugh, talk to people, and be your. So we are all in denial state. Yeah, that's why I'm reading this book. It's kind of relating to what most of us are going through. My favorite genre all time is fiction. Um, Fiction gives one an escape from reality, and it kind of helps one relate to their old self, and gives an opportunity to one to have to yani to get new characters from their lives, like getting to know vampires, werewolves, um, a world that's not even there at all, but kind of relates to one in a way. So my favorite book for fiction is Zahra the Wind Seeker. Talks about a girl with a wind, like a wind avatar of wind or something like that, just like a wind bender. She has powers that she can control the wind, and shows the struggle that she has fighting people who keep on judging her because of her abilities. Yeah. My favorite author is Khalid Husseini. I'm not going to lie. The book that he wrote on Kite Runner, that was one hell of a book. That book actually relates to so many people in a way of friend betrayal. Uh, just it really made me cry because the ending was just remarkable, and the way history repeated itself in that book, that was just savage. Yeah, that was savage. Prefer reading from hard copy because I don't. When you're reading from a soft copy, that is you're using your phone, your tablet, or your laptop. Then you have to worry about the charger, and that really gives me anxiety. So I prefer using the book. And when you have the book itself, the more you're turning the pages with your own hands, and it kind of gives you something to hold on. Yeah, it's good. I love reading from hard copy books. And my reading habits are quite the same. They have never changed, even with time or years. I don't have a specific schedule for reading. I just take up a book, I read. I go and I see a book that has attracted me, even on the streets, I buy, I read. The moment I read, okay, when I buy the book first, I read the first page, and I keep it somewhere until at night. At night is when I read. That is the favorite time I read because the world is quiet and I can relax and get some time alone to read and finish the book. And during this quarantine, yeah, so much has changed, but I still read, though not as much because of online classes. You have to submit an assignment, you have an exam. Oh my God, it's so stressful. I can't wait to be done with it. Amen. So, yes, my reading tips for people is that they should read books that they can relate to. Well, if you are a fan of fiction, just stick to fiction because then you can create your own reading habit. When the moment you read one book, two books, and read, if you're not a stable reader, you can just take up the book and make yourself read like 5 pages, and then you time yourself. How many pages am I reading within 1 minute? If not, maybe you can just um, schedule yourself a time in just a quiet place. Don't be interrupted by anything or anyone. Put your phone aside, um, and just read what you can get. Read the favorite genre. Read books that you can relate to. Why people should read my books is that I told you before, I connect with you emotionally. Yeah, I'm that hero that comes to you and talks to you and saves you. So, yes, you should read my books. The two books, they are very cheap, 200 and 150. So both they cost 350 and they are really good for both high schoolers and for primary school students. Yeah, read. Emotional connection. That's good. Thank you for watching, book lovers. Like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up.